Let's get back to the KVTA Morning Show with Spence on News Talk 1590 KVTA.
And we are here at 7:54. We have guests in the studio, Spencer.
Yes, we do, Spence.
And we're talking firefighting here, and the Firefighters Ball, which is coming up June 10th. Olivas Adobe, good morning. And your name is?
I'm Peter McKenzie.
Peter McKenzie, you were a firefighter for how long?
Almost 20 years, yeah.
20 years in county?
In the city of Ventura.
Wow, so a career man right here in the city of Ventura. It's kind of cool, right? Born and raised?
No, I'm actually from San Diego area,
okay.
But been
Beautiful
here for
place to be
a long
from.
time. Yeah.
So how did you end up here firefighting?
So always knew what I wanted to do when I was a kid, kind of a thing, and then worked myself right into it, and that was 20-some years ago.
Wow.
And, just retired August of last year. So.
But once a firefighter, always a firefighter.
For the most part, yeah. It never leaves you. It's always a part of you. I mean, such a big part for so long.
Oh, yeah. What a life to lead. And we have the Ventura Firefighters Ball coming up. I love the location. The Olivas Adobe, June 10th, 5 to 11 o'clock. All active and retired Ventura City firefighters and a guest receive complimentary tickets for that. But tickets open for regular sale?
With sponsors, yeah. So technically, it's for the firefighters, and we have limited space down there. But there may be a chance where we get some more people. It depends. We're waiting to see how many people RSVP and whatnot.
Well, it's got to be a great party for the firefighters. So that sounds pretty cool. What does the firefighters all support? Is it just for fun and joy? Have a good time?
I mean, it is for a good time, but no, there is a higher cause for sure. So the Ventura Fire Foundation is a charitable arm kind of the firefighters in the area. And we are there to take care of them when they get sick or injured on the job. You know, we ask our firefighters to do a lot of things, a lot of things that most people don't want to do. And everybody does it with pleasure, but over time it starts to take its toll on your mental health. And we start to see some recurring problems with guys who've been doing it for a long time. So that's what the foundation's there to help support them when those things come up.
Yeah, people forget often with firefighting, physical danger is clear, but the concept of always seeing or quite often seeing people in dire situations can weigh on a man or woman's heart.
It takes a toll, and it's not just firefighters, it's police officers, military people, healthcare personnel during the pandemic. We as society ask them to do these things, and then, when they get kind of messed up over doing it a long time, they need somebody there to kind of help them and guide them, get them resources they need, and that's what the foundation does.
Sounds great. So firefighters getting together on this event, and again, the Olivas Adobe is such a good place to have a party. We've done it numerous times with Music Under the Stars, so fully supporting the firefighters in this area. Within the Ventura, and I'm doing some pop quizzes here, Ventura firefighting, how many firefighters do we have on staff?
So the city of Ventura has, I think, 62 or 63. Don't quote me on that number. It's in the low 60s. Which is not as many as you would think.
I was going to say that.
And that's not all at the same time. So that's one third of those are on duty at one time. So 20-some every day.
I was going to say triple that.
Yep. Yeah,
I would have thought it would be about triple that.
It's much less. I think in a perfect world we would have more, but obviously there's budgetary issues.
Sure.
All kinds of things that contribute to it, but yeah, about 20-some per day.
When there's a fire, everyone wishes there was more, right? Because when it comes down, all of a sudden, and when it's you, it's even another issue. Wow. Hang with us. We're going to go over the top of the hour and talk about this wonderful event and just firefighting in general in the community, in the city. Career-wise, a great career opportunity for people who don't want to go into what would be considered the traditional job. My son's over at the college in Oxnard, and he's going through their courses right now. Done the tower to tower.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. It did. Well, slow, but I did it. I did it, and that was twice. We did it. I hope they bring it back, too. I know COVID presented a lot of issues, but we'll chat about that and more here on KVTA.
That's traffic. I'm Diana Olea, News Talk 1590 KVTA.
Yes, it's you plug everything, right? Yes, it's cool, and we'll get to those sponsors coming up that are helping out the 2022 Firefighters Ball, and we'll do that on KVTA as we have our continued chat over the top of the hour. Coming up on 8 o'clock.
Come out, wherever you are.
Now, let's get back to the KVTA Morning Show with Spence.
What are we waiting for?
On News Talk 1590 KVTA.
804 News Talk 1590 KVTA. We're going to hit the news and thank a bunch of sponsors and talk more about firefighting here in the county. And we are talking with the Ventura Fire Foundation. The big party is June 10th, and it's at the Olivas Adobe 5 to 11 o'clock. More coming up here on News Talk 1590 KVTA.
Now,
The moment has arrived.
let's get back to the KVTA Morning Show
I love it.
on News Talk 1590 KVTA.
And once again, we're talking about the 2022 Ventura Firefighters Ball. Whenever you have an event like this, you have a lot of great sponsors. So we can thank some of those folks right now.
Yeah, first and foremost, KVTA sponsored the ball, so thank you very much for your guys' support. We got the Ventura County Credit Union, Jaguar Ventura, California Oaks Property Management, Rincon Property Management, Simi Valley Adventist Health, Firefighters Credit Union, and a whole lot of others. Those are some of the larger ones. But, yeah, we wouldn't be able to do what we do without the support of the community, both in sponsorships and just general donations to the foundation. So
thank you to all those people for doing such good work. And the other thing that you bring up, the heroic job of the career of being a firefighter is one thing, but we do have to look at mental health, and it seems like this is really, really stressing that. While we were off air, we were talking about what would be the person, like the kid that comes out of high school. Do you have like a profile? Is it an athlete? Is it a scholar? Is it, what do you see when you see recruits come in, the ones that end up being successful firefighters?
You know what? Sometimes it's not that jock. It's someone who is just a normal guy like you and me who has.
He thinks I'm normal.
Who has like
a long time.
just a calling to be in the fire service. I mean, it's definitely not a job for everyone, but it's the people who care about it, who put the time and the effort into it, because it's a ton of training. It's a ton of hoops to jump through to get the job. And then once you're there, you got to just put your head down and work hard.
What's the thing that, when a recruit comes in and men and women, I say boys and girls that are getting out of high school, all have an opportunity to become firefighters. What is the first thing, when you see the shock in their face, is something that they realize they have to do, or a process? Is it the physical fitness? Is it the technical learning?
I would say it's getting used to the culture of the fire department, because there's so many unwritten rules and traditions wrapped up in how it works. You show up to that first day of the fire academy and you feel like a bulldozer ran you over, because people are screaming at you. You're expected to know all these things, and a lot of times you don't. And that, to me, that's like the shock value. Like, oh, I'm not in Kansas anymore. I'm in this new subculture, and I got to figure this out quick if I'm going to be successful.
And if you're looking at somebody who would be a rookie, who would be a recruit, when you think you have everything memorized and then somebody's yelling at you and there's a job to do, your brain might not function at the same level it did when you were studying.
And it's all by design, right? They're trying to stress you and put you to your limit to see, is this person going to be able to perform? Can we rely on them literally with our lives?
As you were going through academy, if you will, and did a doubt come up, or were you so focused and so driven you knew this was it? Did you ever go, what have I done?
Well, first it was a long time ago, but yeah, no, absolutely. So a lot of times I think it would, for sure, like, what am I doing? Why is this person screaming at me? Why do I have to do 100 more push-ups with all this gear on my back? Yeah, for sure. But that's good. I mean, it really causes you to dig deep and look at what you're made of.
And to reset and to really look at it if this is a career. How long is a firefighter trained before they become a firefighter?
Oh, so I think our academy was 4 months. So what's that, 16 weeks? And then once you get out of the academy, you start what they call a probationary year, and that's an entire year. And that is just packed filled with training and presentations and things that you got to do. That's the hard part. I mean, the fire academy is physically demanding, but where the firefighters usually succeed or fail is in that first probationary year.
Are you out fighting wildfires? Are there designations?
Depends where you work. Well, like here in the city of Ventura, it's an all-risk fire department, so we absolutely fight the wildfires when they happen, or we get sent out of town when some of the bigger fires happen up and down the state. But a full all-risk fire department does basically everything, from a house fire to a medical emergency to wildland fire, earthquake, urban search and rescue type stuff. So it depends where you work, really.
Is medical training a huge part of it?
So you got to be a paramedic to get hired by the City of Ventura Fire Department.
How long does it take to become a paramedic?
You got to be an EMT first, which I think is like a semester. Then you need some work experience as an EMT. Then you go back to paramedic school, which I think is about a year and a half. And then from there, there's an on-the-job training portion, and then you become a paramedic. But it's a process. They say on average, when somebody raises their hand and says, I want to be a fireman, 4 to 6 years until you're actually marketable and, a good candidate.
So a person 22 would be quite young, depending on what you do out of high school. And
sure,
all that.
Yeah. And you got to, you also can't get in trouble. You can't, have a record. You can't do anything like that. So for a young person to go right out of high school and go, I want to be a fireman, it's not that it's rare, but typically they're usually a little more life experience by the time they get hired. They've had some jobs under their belt, kind of a thing.
Military experience, is this beneficial generally?
Absolutely. Because, the fire department's a paramilitary organization. People who come from the military just get it, right? The military is a little more...
They've been
extreme.
yelled at,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly.
Wow. We're in studio here with Peter McKenzie talking about the Ventura Fire Foundation and the great work you guys do. So thank you, Peter, for years of service. Recently retired, but your passion is still with the foundation. Again, this ball we have coming up. What are the great things that this foundation do other than throwing the ball each year?
Yeah, so the ball is just basically a thank you to the firefighters in general to honor their service and what they've done. But the real work of the foundation is promoting the mental health of the firefighters. When somebody has a mental health crisis, not just firemen, but in our case, we deal with firefighters. A lot of the times it's critical that something has to be done now. Like the suicide rate of firefighters is way higher than the regular public.
Wow. Final question. You're a young man. What next?
I was fortunate to be able to leave the fire department early because I have a business that I run in town. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you've got that going for you. You had a wonderful career here in town. Well, congratulations and thank you. At the same time, are you looking for now? Are these you have raffles? Do you have gifts? What happens?
We are looking for sponsors for sure. So we need the support of the community, and ideally they just go to our website venturafirefoundation.org. and look at what the sponsorship opportunities are available. And, we're absolutely looking for more help.
Awesome. Well, we are here. Best way to reach you and to reach out to donate, to give?
VenturaFireFoundation.org. Yep.
It's
right
that
through our
easy.
website. Yeah.
VenturaFireFoundation.org. Thank you so much for coming in.